So we're all loaded up, as you can see. We're getting ready to go out on our overland camping trip. We're at a Supercharger. And we're headed out to the Salton Sea here in Southern California. And the big question is, how well does the Cybertruck do overlanding, camping for a duration of time? We're gonna be out at the Salton Sea for 2 nights, 3 days, and I wanna see how well the Cybertruck does. I have a fridge in the back plugged in, so I'm gonna be running that the whole weekend. I just wanna see how well it does with range, because I have the rooftop tent, I have my shower awning, I have a lot of weight in the back, I have an ATC, the tonneau's open, I have a 7-gallon jug of water, two 2-gallon jugs of water on the sides of the truck. So range is going to take a hit, and also the battery is going to be losing energy daily because I have the fridge and we're going to be using the truck. So let's head out on the road and see how well the Cybertruck does. So what I want to do is I want to charge up before we get to our destination out in Indio at a Supercharger. So let's go ahead and put that in the navigation, see what that's telling us as far as estimated percentage when we arrive. All right, so before we continue with the video, let's go ahead and talk about today's sponsor, Lasfit. Lasfit has developed some all-weather mats that I'm really enjoying. Ever since I put them in my Cybertruck, I haven't taken them out other than to clean them, and I'm really happy with them. I've done quite a few videos on all-weather mats for the Cybertruck, and there's some good ones out on the marketplace, but so far these are absolutely the best. I would even say these are better than the OEM Tesla floor mats that came with my Foundation series. And that's where Lasfit's all-weather mats really come into play. You're getting a high-quality product at a fraction of the price. And so what I want to do is show you guys the differences. Here are the all-weather interior liners, $295 for these floor mats. And I'm not going to lie, the Tesla all-weather mats are nice. They're good quality. But at $295, I think you can do better. One thing you could see here as well is there's no lip on the edge. So if you're in your Cybertruck and you're doing some off-roading, or if you're out in the snow, whatever debris gets onto the floor mat, when you go to take the floor mat out, you have a chance of spillage. Now let's go ahead and look at the Lasfit all-weather floor mats. As you can see, price is half at $149 compared to $295. And that's for the interior mats. If you wanted to go ahead and just take care of your whole Cybertruck and get the bed mat, the front mat, every mat that you need, you can go ahead and do so, and the price is $279, which is an amazing price. So right here you can see that lip that comes out right here, and that's what I'm talking about as far as giving you that extra protection. So once again, these floor mats are from Lasfit, today's sponsor. I appreciate Lasfit, and if these are mats that you guys are interested in, I'm gonna go ahead and leave links down in the description below, so you guys can go ahead and pick up yourself some as well. Thanks, and let's get back into the video. All right, so it's saying that we're gonna get there with 56%. Let's see if that holds true. All right, we got to the Supercharger. Let's go ahead and look at some of the stats. We got here with 51%. I think it originally said 56%, so obviously we lost 5% more. I was driving around 75 to 80 miles per hour the whole way here. That was with traffic. I'm sure that played a part. Here is my efficiency numbers. Traveled 95 miles, used up 51 kilowatt hours, and our efficiency was 539 watt hours per mile, which isn't bad considering I did a video showing the efficiency on having the Cybertruck Co. bed rack. That was close to 500 watt hours per mile. So another 39, 40 watt hours used, given the fact that I have an ATC in the back, I have jugs and bunch of gear. As you can see in the back, my whole back seat is full, the bed is full, I have the tent up there, I have a side awning, I have all kinds of stuff. So not bad at all. Now we're gonna go grab something to eat, let the car charge, and then we're headed out to the Salton Sea. Right, Eli? right, so we made it to our destination with 76% battery. We did charge all the way to 100, so we used 24%. I want to check the efficiency numbers. So as you can see, since we charged, our watt hours per mile is 650 watt hours, and so far on this trip, we're at 570 watt hours per mile. So it's gone up. We did go uphill a little bit coming here on the final leg. So will 76% last us for the rest of the trip? It's Friday evening, 4:44 p.m. and we're leaving here on Sunday. So let's see if we're able to do this. And once again, we're plugged in. We have outlets going. We have the ICECO fridge in the back, and we're gonna have that on all weekend. We're also gonna be doing some heated blanket sleeping tonight, so see how much energy that sucks as well. So yeah, see how this goes. One of the really, really cool things about the Cybertruck and overlanding is the fact that you have tent mode. So let's go ahead and hit tent mode, and we're gonna see how the Cybertruck auto levels itself, so that way when we're up on the rooftop tent, we're on a level surface and we're not leaning one way or the other. So we've been camping for about 24 hours now. We're at 61%. We got here with 76%. It's 4:03 p.m. the next day, Saturday. As you can see, our outlets have been on the whole trip. We're in tent mode to keep everything level, and we've used 15% of our battery. I'm actually encouraged. I know 15% is a lot, but considering we've been here for 24 hours, that's less than a percentage point per hour. And I feel very confident that by tomorrow when we leave, we're gonna have plenty of charge left to make it to the supercharger and get another charge in. So just wanted to give you guys that update. So unfortunately, I had to cut this trip short as my son wasn't feeling well. He was suffering from intense migraine and just kind of wanted to sleep, didn't really want to play with any of the other kids, didn't want to ride his ATC anymore. And to be honest with you, I think what it was is he was riding all day, and I think all the dust got into his system and kind of just gave him a migraine He wasn't feeling well, so I just elected to cut the trip short. We left maybe 2 hours after filming that 24-hour update, around 6:30 or so, and we just drove home. I do have some final numbers on the efficiency and the usage of the Cybertruck. Let's go ahead and get into that. So as you can see here, for the total trip, I traveled 265 miles, used up 174 kilowatt hours, and the average energy was 659 watt hours per mile. So obviously this is the driving efficiency numbers. It's not great from the standpoint of the 659 watt hours per mile, which is roughly 186, 187 miles on a full charge. So overall, I think at 186 miles, it's not great. Something that I wish was a little bit better, but I understand given all of the drag that I'm putting on the truck with the Cybertruck Co bed rack, with my air cruiser rooftop tent. I have my shower awning on the side of the truck, plus I have the tonneau open, and I have a bunch of gear inside the truck. So I'm really dragging it down and causing this really bad efficiency, but at the end of the day, it's still better than towing a travel trailer. If I would have done this trip with my travel trailer, I would have probably been about half in my mileage. And so this is much better. The test for me and for this trip was to see how much energy was the Cybertruck using when stationary, off-grid, during my camping trip. So what I've learned on this trip is I'm using 0.625 percentage points per hour, and that's with my ICECO APL35 fridge plugged in at all times, never turning off and never being unplugged, and then using some of the other outlets for just, you know, charging devices, opening and closing the doors to get to some of my gear that I kept in the cab of the truck. And so I'm not disappointed with that number. I wish it was a little bit better, but it actually performed a little bit better than I thought it was going to. So what I really want to do is do another overland camping trip off-grid. This time I probably would go by myself, so that way I'm able to really dive into how much usage I'm using, give you guys an idea of how long you can go. But I think at that 0.625 percentage point per hour, it gives you a good idea of how long you can stay out there. So I think the issue right now with overlanding and the Cybertruck is finding a spot you can go camp off-grid, but still having a supercharger close by that gives you the ability, when you're done camping, to stop at that supercharger, recharge, so that way you can continue on your drive home. That's probably the biggest issue. If you were to go really deep into the woods or into the desert and you don't have a supercharger nearby, you can really run into some issues. What I'm kind of looking at is I'm trying to figure out a solution to this. I don't want to have to take a generator with me because I think that's kind of counterproductive in some ways. What I would like to do is try to find some type of solar alternative, whether I have some type of battery bank with some solar panels. I think the range extender will help in this regard, that if it's able to give me an extra 150 miles, so to speak. We still don't know the numbers on the kilowatt hours that they're giving us in that range extender, but I am really curious to see all of the details and specs on that, and to see if that is going to be the solution to, I guess, what we can call the issues with overlanding with an electric vehicle, specifically the Cybertruck. So overall, I was pretty happy with the numbers that I came up with and I found on this trip. It just means that whenever I plan an overlanding off-grid camping trip, I just need to make sure that there's a supercharger within maybe 20 to 40 miles from my destination, and that way I can charge up before I get to my camping spot, and I can charge up immediately afterwards. So that way I'm able to have as much battery while on my camping trip, but also get some more juice so I can make it home. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.